Howdy, howdy. Happy to be here and happy you're here with me. And if you enjoy this type of content, I hope you'll subscribe. Alright, my name is Heather. This is Southern Gals Crochet. So today, I'm going to show you some dogs. I decided to dedicate this week to making some dogs. And what's really weird is I thought I would have a whole lot more going on here than just 5 patterns. I thought for sure I would have like 10 patterns, that I would share. But, life sometimes just gets in the way. So, first thing I want to point out is this. I don't know if you know, but we are like 4 people away from 2,000. Yay! Thank you so much from my heart. It just means the world to me. I can't believe 2,000 people follow me. That's just insane. So I appreciate it big time. So to celebrate, let's see, what are we going to do to celebrate? I have no idea. I'm never good at celebrating things. I'm not your typical person. I don't typically celebrate things. So this will be a different kind of thing. I'll have to try to figure out what to do for a celebration. If you got ideas, give them to me, because this brain up here is empty. So it needs all the help it can get. Alright. So I guess we'll just go ahead and dive on into these cuties. So the very first of all, it took me like almost a whole day just to figure out what patterns I wanted to do, because seriously, there are a lot of different shapes, but there are a lot of the same basic shapes. And so I wanted to try to find some patterns that were all in different shapes and styles and different dogs for that matter. So this is the first one I did, and this is a pattern I have had saved for quite a long time. It's a free pattern, and it worked out so cute. I mean, it's just adorable. I'm not sure what type of dog it's supposed to be, but I mean, it has the little pads, little toes. It's just so cute. So definitely worth it. I found nothing wrong with the pattern at all. And so all of these, I will have the link down below for the pattern if it exists. There's that. Alright, so that was number 1. And number 2 gave me the challenge of my life. So, this cute little pug, I mean, it's so adorable. Oh, I forgot to put a tail. Dadgum. I sure did. I was so proud of myself for finishing. I forgot the tail. Oh, this pattern, I want to recommend it because it's a pretty good pattern, but it was intended for acrylic yarn, so I had to modify it slightly to go with the blanket yarn, and I did find a large mistake on round 5. So other than that, it was perfect pattern. Like I said, I did modify it. I only did one round for the lip area. They call it the wrinkle, but yeah, the little nose wrinkle. It does call for a plastic nose, which I do not have, and so I just opted not to put that on there. But it turned out really cute. It's really tricky though, because you got to put the head on just right, and it doesn't have that instruction on there, so or it'll just go like that. So you gotta really play with where to put that head. But I mean, it's not a bad pattern. It just does have that mistake in round 5, and I will put the revised version in the link in the description below. I'll put what I did to counteract that mistake. It's an easy fix, but anyway, it's a really cute pattern, really cute. So there's that. And he does stand up pretty well. You can't see that, but he does stand up pretty well on his own, but it took a while to get it to where it didn't go whoop. So, a tailless pug. That was not the intent. Then, of course, there's this little bitty teeny tiny wiener dog. I'm talking little tiny wiener dog. For the amount of time that I spent on this dog, I had to figure out a way to do a bigger version. This was I did this in I do believe it was Parfait Chunky, or it might have been Baby Snuggle, one of those, that size of yarn, and that's what it came out as. And of course, I am no good with these little baubles. For some reason, my baubles do not stick out like everybody else's. They're just barely there. So that was something I had to figure out. But yeah, cute, really cute. Nothing wrong with the pattern. Just took me a while to do it, and you do have to sew on the head and the ears, and of course the nose I had to do like 3 times before I was happy with it. And so yeah, so then I was like, I want to make a bigger one so that I can possibly get my time out of it, So I fiddled with the pattern and made it longer, made it larger. Pretty much, it's basically the same pattern, but bigger, and the head's bigger. The head's basically a different shape. I don't know if you can see that, but the head is like, they have you go from, on this pattern, they have you go from here to here, to the nose, and decreasing down, which gives it a different look. So I went with this. I gave him an upper nose. So it kind of has a little slope there, and then a head, and of course bigger kind of bell, kind of drop ears, little bigger ears. I don't know if you can tell, those ears are kind of oblong, and these ears are kind of drop. I don't know if you can tell, big poofy. And so I went ahead and tried to do the just a regular bobble, but still you can barely see them. But a longer body. It's still basically the same. It just everything's a little bit different. It's still the same, but everything's different, right? The head is definitely different, and of course, longer body, bigger tail. So I was like, okay, that came out all right. Let's try it again to make sure my instructions are good. So here we go. I did a blonde and tan version, long body, but this time look at those bobbles. So what I did, instead of doing just a regular double crochet bobble, I did a triple crochet bobble, and that really made those bobbles stand out like feet. So I'm very happy with those little bobbles. And it really wasn't that much different than a regular one, just I used triple stitches instead of double stitches. Loved it. And of course, easy, easy. So that came out really well, and I'm very happy with it, because this is too small. Too small for the time that goes into it. This one, on the other hand, was really easy, was not hard, just go with it. And I used baby bear on this, and it's just as cute as can be and works up really quickly, so you can easily get your money out of that, even though it doesn't look very big. I think it's maybe, I don't know, 7 inches tall. And because it has a tail, it kind of stands up. And you can't see that, but it kind of stands up with that tail, like that. So that's pretty cool. Okay, and then of course I had to do one of my own dog patterns, and this is Pup Buddy in blanket yarn. I usually only do either Honey Bunny or Toucan, but this is done in blanket yarn, and so he came out really big. And of course that is my pattern, Pup Buddy. So I'm pretty happy, and I had colors set aside to make another one, and time just got away from me, and I just did not get around to making that, so I figured I better put that away and start working on what I really had in mind to work on. So this is going to be my newest pattern, and I'm pretty happy with it. So what happened is when I was looking for patterns, I went looking through my old Ravelry library, looking for things that I had put in there a decade ago, and I found a acrylic yarn puppy pillow, and I was like, yeah, that's really cute, but no, I'm not going to do that. That's all working back and forth in rows, and No, So I just like, okay, I'm going to do my own version. And here we go. This is Hank. Hank the dog. And it's just a little quick pillow. And he's got a tail. This is a mix of the Burnett frosted, and a little bit of Posh. And I opted to go with the embroidered eyes. I didn't like how the nose came out at first, so I had to redo that. And I'll show you that in a minute. But he's got a little pink tongue. So I love that. And he's got short little stubby arms and legs. And because of the tail, he kind of sits. Let's see. The tail gives it that little extra layback, so his feet stick out in the front. I was pretty happy with that, of course, but I was not happy with that nose, so I was like, okay, I've got to fix that. And Bruiser's walking around. I don't know. Are you going out? Okay. Next. So, this is my next one. I love the nose a whole lot better. The colors, of course. And this is just Burnett Frosted and Burnett Bubbly Blue, I think it is. And so, yeah, that one came out a whole lot cuter with the cute little nose. So, this is my newest pattern, and I'm currently working on that. And I wanted to say, I know I have some patterns that I haven't even finished. So, if you can remember what they are, let me know, because I tell you what, I have to admit something to y'all. My memory is bad. And it's kind of scary, you know. It's really scary that I'm already to the point of having a bad memory. It's been coming slowly for a while. I first noticed it when I was working for this lawn mowing company, and I was forgetting to email this, or I was forgetting to invoice this, or, you know, I was really noticing that I was forgetting things. And of course the owner was wonderful and was not, you know, upset about it, you know, just it had been a noticeable thing. And so I had to resign from that job just because it was not good. It was not good. So noticeably my memory is going. So if there is patterns that I have talked about in the past that I am working on and haven't finished that you can remember, please don't hesitate to refresh my memory, because there's so much going on up here that it's really hard to grasp something and focus on it. And that's just the way my life is. So I am working on this, and if you would like the modification to this pattern, which, I mean, technically, I don't know. Should it be its own pattern? I don't know. You tell me. I think it's adorable, but I do think that it deserves credit from this pattern. So, inspired by, I don't know. You tell me. Um, all right. Well, I appreciate y'all hanging out with me and putting up with my scatterbrain. And I have a market tomorrow, but it's only 4-hour market, and there is prediction of rain in the morning. So fingers crossed I'm not setting up in the rain, but hopefully the forecast is correct and it won't last very long. Fingers crossed, right? All right, well, I appreciate y'all hanging out with me, and I will see y'all later. Bye-bye.